What's up, nerds? My name is Steve from Flipping the Nerd, and this is the Flipping the Nerd Show. We are episode 95, and I'm here with special guest, British Geeky Guy. How's it going, man? How are things in good old United Kingdom?
Yeah, it's all right over here. Doing well. Cold, though. We got like 80-mile-an-hour winds from Hurricane Dorothy or something, or is it Dorothy? Hurricane something came from America or something. They have it back. This morning it was like roadkill on the roads. There was bins, there was tree branches. It was like a minefield of stuff on the roads.
Wow. Did you guys? How's the weather these days, other than the hurricane? Is it cold? Is it rainy? Is it
still a bit drizzly and cold? Supposed to be warmer this week. Apparently, it was supposed to be really, really hot, but this wind is just a killer. I mean, it almost took my leg off, man. I opened the door, and as I got into the car, the wind just caught it, and it missed my foot by about an inch.
Oh, wow.
It was seriously close.
That's crazy. On my side, it's actually the opposite, and I wanted to give a huge special shout out to the sun today, because, I mean, for those who watch the channel, I'm about as Canadian gets, right? I love hockey, I eat poutine, I drink milk out of a bag, I say sorry too much. I'm very, very Canadian. But the one thing that I'm very un-Canadian is I absolutely hate snow. And we get so much snow here that it's ridiculous. But today was the first day where it was actually nice outside in 2017, where I could actually go out without my jacket on. And despite still being a ton of snow, because it's not going to melt instantly, I finally felt like today, even though it's kind of early, was like the first day of spring. I know we're still far from it, technically, but it felt that way. It smelled that way. So it was nice to see the sun come up, once. Thank you, in 2017. Oh, I hate it so bad.
The last time I saw snow was about 23 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think we've had about an inch and a half in the whole time I've lived back up here in the last 5 years. It's literally been no snow. And where I used to come from, I used to live in a seaside resort. Okay. So the salt air coming off there just didn't let the snow settle at all. It just disintegrated instantly. So didn't see it down there either. So I miss it.
I see that the problem with snow for people who don't have snow is it looks good and it looks like it's a lot of fun. But when you have to walk in it, when you have to drive in it, when you have to clear it off your driveway, you have to clear it off your car. It's a super hot. Driving in winter conditions in Canada is like putting your video game on hard mode. You're slip and sliding. Sometimes your brakes just feel like not working. The other cars are crazy. It's just like people forget how to drive. It's just the amount of accidents I see in a year is ridiculous. It's just
do you have to have spike tires or
they're
chains as standard?
No, we don't. We do have like winter tires that we have to put on. It depends where you are. In my area, it's not. You don't have to. It's not a law yet. But where I come from, like the other province I came from, you do have to have winter tires at all times. Because you're just causing accidents if you don't. I mean, I put them on. Tires are just not made for ice because sometimes it's pure ice, and but they're not. They don't have chains or anything on them. They're just kind of thicker, and they have like these little kind of rubber things on them, and it's a pain in the ass. But I'm really looking forward to snow being gone this year in particular. I'm at the point now where when I'm shoveling my driveway, I have to shovel snow above my head because my snowbanks are above my head. So it's, you have to lift it all the way up and throw it over. It's just,
I've never seen snow that deep in my life.
I
think the highest I've ever seen is probably to waist height.
Oh, yeah. No,
in my whole lifetime. So, yeah, there's something weird about opening your door and walking into just a sheet of snow just standing right in front of you.
Yeah, trust me, I've seen things that the thing with snow though is you see some really interesting stuff and very interesting behavior. It's bad. It's real bad. But at the same time, we're used to it, so our infrastructure is built around knowing that it's going to happen. So we cleared off really well.
Yeah.
But like if one of our storms went your way, you'd be done. It'd be the apocalypse.
We get an inch of snow and the whole council goes completely nuts.
Right.
We're out of sand. We can't grit the roads in time. Blah blah blah. And it's like mental. It's like worst case scenario, inch of snow.
No, exactly. It's I mean, the worst case scenario for us here that I've seen is, because one thing that people also don't know or don't realize is it's bad enough that I have to clear my driveway, but there's a plow that plows the whole street, right? Or else you wouldn't be able to get off the street. Well, that plow, the way it works is it doesn't pick it up or put it anywhere. It pushes it to the sides so that it clears the street, but it leaves like a giant mountain of ice and snow in front of your driveway, which is super. It's like sometimes it's up to my chest, and that's just like, oh, you have to go to work. So you have to get up an extra hour or two early just to be able to shovel your way out of your driveway. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, we'd just close down. Everything would just shut. Everyone would just go, nah. They'd step out, they'd look at it and go, I ain't going to work. Sod that.
Right. No, exactly. So that's my snow story. I just want to give a huge shout out to the sun. It was so nice to see it today. I missed the sun so bad. I just, oh my God. It's super cold, but it's so much warmer than usual that all the Canadians are out, no jacket. You know, it's like, I mean, that weather would probably like freeze other people, but for us, it's crazy. Just such a nice day.
Cool.
So huge shout out. A few things I want to talk about before we get on to Kevin Spacey. First, I hate to start shows like this, but I'd rather get it out of the way before we get on with the show. There are a few. Everyone, if you watch the channel, I really like pro wrestling. Now, I don't watch it so much anymore, like as religiously as I used to, anyway. But I was a huge fan at one point, and I'm very interested in the history of wrestling and everything. And I watched it a lot in the 80s and 90s. Well, unfortunately, we lost not one, but 4 professional wrestlers in the span of a week, which is just, God, well, what a bad week for professional wrestling. So I just wanted to share some memories of the 4. 3 of them I wasn't as attached to be honest. I wasn't a big fan of theirs necessarily, but I do appreciate their work. But one of them I was actually really bummed out about. The 3 are Chavo Guerrero, a very famous Mexican wrestler. You might know him as, and for those who watch more modern wrestling, Chavo Guerrero Sr., not Chavo Guerrero Jr., who was also in the WWE as part of the Latino Heat with Eddie Guerrero, which is his cousin. So Chavo Guerrero Sr., just a legend in the business, really opened up Spanish wrestling and Mexican wrestling with the Lucha Libre and everything. And, his son and his nephew and everything just carried on that great tradition. Eddie Guerrero, I still think, is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Oh, yeah, I love Eddie Guerrero.
His lying, cheating, and stealing like year or two gimmick there was just one of the best things ever.
Coming in like that. Whee! That's what I remember. Stealing people's shoes and stuff like that.
Exactly. It was just it was so good. I mean, he'd hit someone with the chair and then throw the chair in the middle and then go down too, so the ref didn't know who actually hit who with the chair. It was awesome. So anyway, Chavo Guerrero Sr., I mean, he was old. It was probably his time, but great legacy in professional wrestling. Then there was Nicole Bass. Do you remember Nicole Bass? There for like
she wasn't in there. She wasn't in very long. She was Sable's bodyguard, I believe. Is that right? She was Sable's bodyguard in the Attitude Era.
I think so. That's right.
Yeah.
She's kind of like another bodybuilder type girl.
Yeah.
Kind of mimicking China a little bit, but without the mic skills or the athletic ability, really.
I heard she did well on Howard Stern's show.
Yeah,
Howard Stern used to poke fun at her because she looked like a man, basically. And he'd be constantly saying, are you sure you're a female?
That's more what she's known for, I think.
Yeah.
She was also in Private Parts, the Howard Stern movie.
Oh, I didn't see that. I might have seen it.
It's so good. That's
Yeah.
because he plays himself and he makes fun of himself during the movie. It just plays off so well. It's just funny to see. He plays himself as a teenager, and he it's honestly one of the best, I think, biography movies I've ever seen. And it's semi-accurate because I mean he's doing it himself, so obviously he knows what went down those days. So yeah, definitely. If you like Howard Stern at all in any way, definitely worth watching. So.
Yeah.
So that was Nicole Bass. Then Ivan Koloff, big wrestler in the 1970s, a little bit in the 80s. One of those infamous Russian, Russian versus U.S. gimmicks that they had a lot. I know he fought a lot with Ric Flair, and
he's Canadian.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, that's typical of professional wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Totally not like what they said you are.
Yeah.
But
it was very big because it was during the Reagan administration and all about the Cold War and stuff like that. So it was very big, and yeah, he did some really good fights back then. Some really nice ones.
Exactly. So another loss, but the one that really, really bummed me out. I used to love him as a kid, and I've seen him. Sadly, I say this very sadly. I used to go with one of my friends at like low budget arena shows near my area, and he was often on those cards. Like there'd be like 50 people or 30 people in some shitty high school or some shitty arena, but he was always entertaining. It didn't matter if it was in front of thousands or in front of 30. He always was entertaining, and that's George the Animal Steel. Very interesting character. For those who don't remember who he was, I mean, he was a white bald guy. He was completely hairy, like chest and back. He had like a green. He had a green tongue, and he used to eat the turnbuckle. That was his thing. Oh my god, he was good. I really like George the Animal Steel. He's famous for in the movies. He was also in Ed Wood. For those who were who saw that movie, so that was one I was really bummed out about. So rest in peace, George the Animal Steel. Great career, even though, like I said, he was doing like really crappy arenas by the end, and really wanted to keep going at the wrestling thing. So, and good for him,
Yeah, they all had pretty good innings. I think they were all over 60, weren't they? So
yeah, well, except Nicole Bass, but yeah.
Yeah, Nicole was 52.
Right. Yeah. So it's so that's it. So I just wanted to mention that because I was a big wrestling fan, and those bummed me out. Another thing I want to mention, and this is something that happened yesterday. I absolutely love anything relating to ghosts. I love ghost stories. I love ghost films. I love to go ghost hunting. I love to watch a lot of YouTube things that have to do with ghosts. And one of the most famous kind of ghost/demon stories is the Annabelle doll. Now, the Annabelle doll has been made famous by the more recent movies of The Conjuring, Conjuring 2, and of course the spin-off Annabelle. In the movie, she's a really scary kind of porcelain doll, but it is based off a true story with the real people, Ed and Lorraine Warren, which we had a full episode about in like episode 84-ish. So this Annabelle doll, the story goes, was haunting these families and just it was like possessed by a really mean demon. So when Ed and Lorraine figured it out, they took the Annabelle doll and put it in their museum, The Occult, which is a museum in their house where they keep demonic or possessed items. And this one being the most powerful possessed item that they had, they put it in a case that was never to be opened, basically, just because it was such a dangerous doll. In fact, somebody who was visiting the museum one time started knocking on the window of the doll and started making fun of it, which really aggravated Ed Warren because he was a guest at his, basically at his house. So he kicked him out of the house, saying, "You can't disrespect this doll. It's possessed by a demon and all that stuff." And that guy died 4 hours later in a motorcycle accident as he was talking about the doll with his girlfriend, who lived, thankfully, for that motorcycle accident. So a lot of history with this doll. Very famous, especially now with the Conjuring movie. Well, yesterday, so basically where the museum is now, they they had like some kind of zoning thing where they had to move the museum, and the person who takes care of the museum now, which is I believe their nephew, the couple's nephew, had to move the doll from one box to another, and it's the first time that it's moved from its encasing since they put it in there. I mean, they moved the box around. I know that for sure because they do dinners at like 2 or 3 times a year where they show the box, but I don't think they've ever moved the actual doll outside of the box. And they had to move it from case to case. They put it into a kind of better case that's just more modern and all that kind of stuff. So they filmed it live on Facebook yesterday, and it was just a very interesting experience. And if you watch it, I'd love to know in the comments what you thought, or in the chat. I know we have Miko Romero in the chat, and she did watch it. Very interesting experience. Have you ever heard of this story, the Annabelle story, Ian?
No, I'm not like I'm not really into horror, so I've heard of the doll. I think I have seen. Is it the? Oh God, was it the girl from Walking Dead? Her.
For what?
With the doll, or is that a different film I'm thinking of? A horror film?
Oh no, that's the boy.
The boy. No,
yeah,
okay, so it's not that one.
Right.
I think my wife's seen The Conjuring. I think she's seen it. But
yeah, it was in The Conjuring and Annabelle, the actual. Actually, you know what? 1 second.
You're gonna scare the crap out of me with a doll. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
That's the Annabelle doll from the movie.
I remember that creepy thing you picked up from that con, isn't it?
Right, exactly. So this is the doll from the movie, but in real life, this doll is a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah,
the one that they actually moved. And anyway, it was a really interesting video.
Did anything happen?
No, and that was interesting. I was talking to my wife about that on the way home. It was one of those situations, in my opinion, that was kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Mm.
If nothing happened, which nothing did happen, you kind of leave disappointed, right? You kind of really want something to happen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if something had happened, I would have been like, oh, I'm calling bullshit on this.
Yeah.
I think it was probably better for them for nothing to happen, to be honest. It would just be too convenient if something happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really believe into the whole thing anyway, but it does make for a very cool story. So,
what makes the case so special that the powers can't get out? I mean, is it magically sealed or something like that, or
it's spiritually sealed?
Oh, okay.
So it's also really sealed. I mean, it's a box with a glass window and a kind of box, but it's I mean, priests bless that box, and it's a whole process. They have to pray to it every every few months. A priest has to come to do some divine ceremony around it, and it's like a whole process.
Wow.
To keep the demons inside the doll, inside that box.
Wow.
So yeah, it was very interesting. They did a couple prayers before doing it. The guy who actually moved the doll had these giant gloves on it, so that no skin touches the doll, because he was afraid that would maybe put the spirit into the guy. And it was very interesting. The one thing, my one complaint about the video, for those who do end up watching it, is they started playing horror music in the back once in a while, and that just kind of took me out of it. I didn't want to hear horror music because that cheapened it for me.
Experience.
Yeah, it's just it's, I don't know, it kind of cheapened it a little bit, but it was a very interesting video. I was tense the whole video, which was cool. It's just oh my god, is something gonna happen? I can't wait till they move this thing. It was cool. So if anyone's a horror fan, maybe check it out. It's all over YouTube today. And if anyone's interested in more, I just talked to my wife. Like I said, they do dinner. They do a dinner party 3-4 times a year at the house, and they bring out a few of the items, including the Annabelle doll. And now they keep them in the cases, like I said. But I think I'm going to go next year. It's a little expensive, but I think it'd be one of those experiences I'd really like to do. Just first of all, I'd get to meet Lorraine Warren, if she's still alive, next year. She's not the youngest person. If not, it'd be their nephew who now takes care of everything, and you get to hear stories and ask them questions.
What other stuff's in this museum apart from the Annabelle doll? Then is there other really big, scary things?
There's a lot of items related to it, but like the second one was actually a British story. I'm trying to remember what the name, like Beaconsfield or Beckett something. They had an item from that. Amityville Horror is theirs, so they have items from that. Just these two, this couple has been in a lot of famous ghost stories.
Yeah.
Haunting in Connecticut was another one I think that they did. So yeah, it's a lot of famous kind of demonic stories or ghost stories are somehow related to these people, and they have a lot of items from those things. So that's and I'd be very curious to see, just their stories and just pick their brain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not a really big horror fan, but it was something I would go and sit and watch and eat a meal there, and
right.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool to find out the stories behind it all and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's an experience. I do the same for a historical thing, right? If I had a chance to meet, I don't know, anything really, like somebody who has some kind of historical significance, I'd love to hear their story. Like actually, I had an opportunity. I didn't go, but Jackie Robinson, who was the first Black baseball player in the major leagues, he started his career in Montreal. Montreal is the first professional team to bring him on in the kind of AAA. And I had a chance to meet, I think it was his daughter or something, and she was doing a dinner kind of like that. And I didn't go, and I regretted it. It's interesting to pick these people's brains who kind of change history. So it's, definitely something to do. So if anyone wants to check it out, go check it out. And if they want to do it, maybe we can all hook up next year and do a little dinner at the Warren's house, which is, I think, in Connecticut. So a little bit of a drive for me, but still worth doing. And the last thing I want to talk about is, so you're a big Marvel fan. We were just talking about Spider-Man Pops before. They just released pictures of what the Spider-Man Homecoming Pops will look like. And
I know. I'm debating pre-ordering or not. I'm like,
right.
It's £50, but I really want them.
No, exactly. For those who are Marvel fans, I was looking at March. There are 3 big Marvel events happening in March. I'm very excited and want to know what you think of them. Number 1, Doctor Strange comes out on Blu-ray next Tuesday. I know it's technically February, but it's close enough to March to count for me. Have you seen Doctor Strange?
I did, yeah. I'm gutted because I wanted to go see it in 3D. I think it would have been so much more of a better experience watching that film in 3D rather than 2D. But there was a massive accident on the way to the cinema, and I got stuck in traffic for about an hour. So when I arrived, it had already started, and I was like, do I go all the way back and have to wait through that traffic jam and then come back again for the next 3D? And I thought, sod it, no, I'm just going to watch it in 2D. But I so wish I would have watched it in 3D. Yeah.
It's a visual masterpiece, right?
Yeah.
Just like Inception was, or it's crazy. And you thought it was a great movie overall?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really did. I know there's a lot of people out there that thought it wasn't so good, but I kind of really enjoyed it. I do like Marvel films though, and I like the way that they do them. And oh god, what's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch. It was a good choice, I think. Really, really good choice for that role.
Yeah, and it's also a very important film because we've had Iron Man start the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then we had Thor kind of open up the cosmic universe.
Yeah.
And now we had Doctor Strange opening up the mystic universe. So it's very interesting that these things that, quite frankly, if you had asked me a decade ago would work on film, I wouldn't be sure. They're too abstract, but they really did a good job of keeping the essence of it like the comics, but putting it into this real world that Iron Man was in as well. Right, which was really grounded in reality. So, very, very good. So that comes out on Blu-ray. So that's a big one. Number 2, Logan is coming out on March, I think 3rd or 4th. Logan is Wolverine's last movie as well. My God, what's his name? Hugh Jackman's last Wolverine movie. Anyway. I think this is going to be great. It's reviewing extremely well.
Yeah.
I'm seeing all 9, 9.5, and 10. How do you feel about this? Are you excited about the Logan story? Do you like Old Man Logan? Or?
I collect the Old Man Logan comics, so that's really cool. I'm looking forward to what pops they bring out because I'm obviously a pop guy. But for the film, it looks really, really good. And I bet you any amount of money they are kicking themselves that they didn't do 15 to start or 18 to start off with the film. They didn't think that they'd be able to get enough of an audience for it, so they kind of dulled it down. And Wolverine's not one you want to cage. And I think this last one's going to be, he's going to do as much damage as he possibly can. They're going to try and get him to do as much as they possibly can so he can go out with a bang. The question is, who steps up next? Who steps into that role? That's the big question, I suppose.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, he's played Wolverine so much now that we're kind of just really used to him. But I think it's a good idea to kind of take him out as Old Man Logan so that you can kind of get a young guy later and come back and play a younger version of Wolverine again. The only way I would see a successful reboot of this character, and I know it's not going to happen, would be to bring him into the MCU. Then they can kind of explain why it's a new Wolverine, but it's still Wolverine, and that'd be so cool. It's still my dream that at the end of Infinity War, see, the way I see it planning out, I know it's not going to happen. I just know it won't happen. But the way I see it going is basically, they get the shit kicked out of him. They're all down and out. Thanos has gotten all of the Infinity Gems, and the Avengers are decimated. They have no hope at the end of the first Infinity War movie. And then at the button, you have one of the characters kind of like, I don't know what we're going to do. We're kind of stuck. And then someone in the background that you don't see says, well, you might be stuck, but I'll help you. And then the claws come out, and you don't see anyone. But if the X-Men could join that universe, it would be.
Bob.
I mean, of course. I mean, Wolverine's a Canadian hero, right? So we're very invested in this character here. So
I mean, I'm also hoping that even though he said this is the last time he's going to play Wolverine, I'm hoping he's going to do cameos in other Marvel films. I'm hoping he gets into Deadpool. I hope he gets like a bit in Deadpool and some other things as well. I hope he doesn't just stop dead. I hope he does still want to do a bit here and there if he can.
I know he did an interview saying this would be his last complete appearance, but there's rumors that he will appear in Deadpool.
I hope so.
And
Fingers
2,
crossed.
he said he would consider making a comeback if it were in the MCU.
Yeah.
So he said that would be something I'd be interested in because it'd be different. But I don't see that happening with Fox holding the rights. So I think it's gonna. Our last hope is really for him to be in Deadpool. Now, is he going to go in Deadpool as Wolverine or just as Hugh Jackman? The Deadpool reference is both, right?
Yeah, that's true.
He references Wolverine as the person he had to blow to get a movie made, and he references Hugh Jackman, of course, famously when he does his face reveal at the end. He's got a Hugh Jackman's face on his face, so. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think there's different clever ways they can do it. I hope
it would be awesome.
Those two are really funny together too in interviews. I don't know if you ever seen them.
I saw them do an interview with who was the guy with them? There was 3 of them in total. I can't remember who it was in the middle, but I saw an interview recently.
Yeah, it's
fairly recently. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really, really funny. Yeah, so that's Logan. How? Now we don't know. You don't know anything about this movie, right? Like spoilers or anything?
What, of Logan?
Yeah.
No, I've watched
like the trailers.
one clip, I think.
Okay.
One clip.
So just for the audience,
that was when we did the review of the films.
Right.
And that was the only trailer I've watched. I haven't watched any of the other ones after that. I didn't watch the halftime Bonanza trailer they did at Super Bowl or whatever it was.
Okay.
But
so very little about this film.
Yeah.
Okay, so just for the audience's sake, we don't know anything about this film, so what we're going to say is pure speculation. How do you think this movie needs to end to satisfy people?
Oh, that's a good question. See, because I actually have the Death of Wolverine books, the actual comics. So I know how he dies in that, and would you want him to go out that? Because if you do that, then you are essentially killing that character off for good.
Right, well, it's comics. It's never for good.
Well, yeah, I suppose. There's always another universe out there somewhere with another version.
I mean, look, Days of Future Past essentially erased all the other X-Men deaths. So
exactly, yeah. Oh, wow. That is a damn good question. Well, it's going to be something to do handing the mantles over to X-23. So maybe the yellow suit to X-23 at the end or something like that. I know there is a reference to a comic as well. There's a comic he's got in his hands with Wolverine in it, and it's in the yellow suit, which I think is quite funky.
Right.
So, yeah, something like that where he's handing the mantle over to X-23.
So you think he shouldn't die? He should just pass on the torch?
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to die. I like the character, so if we can hold out and keep him alive, that would be happy for me.
Yeah, but, I feel the same way. I think Professor X is going to bite it, probably midway through the film. Maybe he'll make it 3/4, but no more than that. As far as Wolverine, I agree. I don't think they should kill him off. I think he should just essentially, literally, walk into the sunset and just walk off in the sunset, and that would be the end of Wolverine.
Yeah.
After passing the torch to X-23. I don't know in what context, because in your mind that kind of opens it up for a sequel, but to do it just in a way that kind of really signifies that's it, he's done.
It leaves the door open, but everybody knows it's not going to happen, sort of thing.
Right, exactly. So, it'll be interesting. But having such high praise for it already from the critics who've seen it is definitely a good sign.
It is, but also not, because people goes in there thinking this is going to be amazing, and if it's not as amazing as you think it's going to be, then that puts a damper on it. See, when I went to go see Batman vs Superman, my expectations was low, really low, because I've never seen a really decent DC film apart from I like the original Batmans. Right. So my expectations were super low. So when I actually watched it, even though it wasn't brilliant, it was better than what I was expecting. Okay. So I walked away thinking, actually, this is a pretty good film. I could watch this again. Right. If you go into a film with your expectations super high, one little bit can completely ruin that film, and that could be a problem. Hyping it too much can be the problem.
No, absolutely. Yeah, there's always that danger, right? It's although in some cases, for me, Batman v Superman, I also went a little bit later, and I knew it was bad. But I actually walked out thinking, yeah, they were right. This was pretty bad. I just I didn't like a lot about that movie at all. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
And the last thing in March for Marvel is the last of the 4 Defenders having his own series on Netflix, and that's Iron Fist.
Yeah.
So have you seen the trailer for Iron Fist?
I have not seen the trailer yet. My brother's got a hacked Amazon Fire Stick, and he's been trying to find it to watch it, but it isn't on there yet. But it looks pretty well. What I've heard, it seems pretty good. I wasn't totally impressed with the Luke Cage, to be fair. Right. I kind of felt the bad guys were like shoot. Oh yeah, he can't be killed with bullets. But every episode it was shoot. And you're like, come up with something different. At least hit him with a truck or a bulldozer or something, for Christ's sake. You just keep trying to shoot him. Yeah. But hopefully this one's got a bit of more mystical powers, so that's pretty cool. So we'll see. We'll definitely see how that's going to run. I'm hoping it's going to be good. And then maybe a combination film after all of that.
Yeah, that comes out actually in September, the combination Defenders film. They're already, I think they're done filming, or they're really close to being done filming.
Yeah.
So yeah, because the next 2 after Iron Fist are Defenders and then Punisher. So
okay, cool.
That's Iron Fist. I saw the trailer. It's one of those things. I'm not a big Iron Fist guy. I've read some of the comics. It just never really appealed to me as a character. He battles the Hand a lot, and it just, again, not an organization that I particularly care for in comics. I mean, you see him a lot in Daredevil stories, but it just wasn't. It was never something that really got me excited. But I felt the same way about Jessica Jones, to be fair. I never liked her comic counterpart, but I really loved her TV show. So
I watched the first 2 episodes and I fell asleep in both times of the first 2 episodes. But that being said, I was very tired from work and stuff like that. And my wife continued to watch it when I was at work, and she said, "You've got to watch this." So I went back, I watched 1 and 2, and actually I really enjoyed it. It was a fantastic series. I really liked that series a lot.
Yeah, and it's such a great villain. I mean, Kilgrave was just such a cool and so interesting as a character. I mean, one line that really sticks with me of that whole show was Kilgrave telling Jessica Jones, "I once told a guy to go fuck himself." Can you imagine what that guy went through because of that? And it's crazy to think that this guy has to watch every single word he says, because it could seriously, I mean, it's such a throwaway line in any other context, but coming from him to somebody, that's crazy. Like, it's just, very interesting show. And that's something I love about the Netflix shows. Their villains have been incredible. I mean, we have Kingpin from Daredevil season 1, which is incredible. Then you had, I guess, Punisher was kind of a villain for half of Daredevil.
Like an anti-hero.
Yeah, he was kind of playing both. He was just misunderstood, really, but that's who Daredevil is going after. So he was kind of like the villain. He was great. Kilgrave was amazing. Cottonmouth in Luke Cage was fantastic. Unfortunately, the other one who had a snake name, wasn't as good, which sucked because he was kind of the bigger villain, and it didn't work as well to me. But I'm looking forward to seeing this one. And just, again, Netflix just seems to be killing it with these Marvel shows.
Yeah, so they're doing well. And it's about time. It's about time they had some good Marvel shows going.
Yeah.
DC have always done well with the DC. I love Arrow. I love Flash. I love Supergirl. I put all of those are on my record list. So and then Netflix I have anyway. So I just watch them when they come out, and I'm like, awesome. I'll just sit here and binge watch the whole series in one go, and that's really cool. No,
exactly. And it makes me excited to what other smaller characters can maybe have their own shows later. There's talk of Moon Knight. There's talk of Cloak and Dagger. There's just so many opportunities to bring in these kind of smaller Marvel characters to life, and it's awesome to see that these great characters that are not necessarily known to the public can get their chance to shine in this new kind of era, and I love it. Oh my god, it's just blows my mind.
Come on, Captain Britain. And Union Jack.
There's no way. If anyone's getting one first, it's going to be North Star, because they made him homosexual, and that's going to play well on television. So,
oh god, yeah.
There's also some really bad ones out there. I mean, as Canadian as I am, I don't want to see Alpha Flight get a fucking series, but that's it is what it is. So that was Marvel. I was just thinking about it at work today, talking to one of my coworkers about it, just how awesome of a month it is for Marvel fans. And we saw so much this year. We have Guardians of the Galaxy in May. We have Spider-Man this summer. We have Thor Ragnarok at the end of the year. We have the Defenders TV show at the end of the year. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been killing it lately. It's just,
I haven't watched that yet. I've got it all recorded, waiting to go.
Oh, it's so good. It's just... it's Marvel's really killing it these days, so it's awesome to see. All right, so every single month since we started this show, we dedicate one episode to some kind of creative force, whether it's an actor or a director or a musical artist or whatever it is that we feel is worthy of what we call our Hall of Fame. It's been mostly actors, but we're starting to branch out a little bit. So this one I picked last month. It's one of my favorite actors, one of them that he's done so many great roles that he had to be in this Hall of Fame, and that's Kevin Spacey. I'm a huge Kevin Spacey fan. Always have been ever since I saw him in Seven in 1995. And he's done so many great movies since then. Now he's killing it on television in House of Cards. He's even killing it in video games. He's one of the antagonists in Call of Duty. So great career, and I look forward to discussing it. So the way we're going to do it, first I'm going to go to Facebook, where I ask my question of the week, and we'll talk about the movies as they come up in the answers for Facebook. And at the end, we're going to say who we think, which we think is the best Kevin Spacey movie and which one is his best performance. ever. So that's the way we're gonna go. Did you do the research that you were?
Yeah. Well, going back over it, I actually remember quite a few films that he was in. Not a huge amount. My brother almost beat me up this afternoon because he told me 7, and I was like, "Who the hell does he play in 7?"
Really?
And he goes, "He's the guy at the end, the guy who brings the box." I'm like, "What? Right. Who are you talking about?" He goes, "The one he shoots in the back," and he goes, "I'm Envy," and I'm like, "I don't freaking remember it."
Oh, really? Oh, man.
But it's been such a long time since I've seen that film, so that's probably why.
Right. Oh, it's such a great film, and we'll definitely talk about that one. So go on to Facebook. Here are the people who answered, and thank you very much for everybody every week who answered the question of the week. And those in the chat, I'd love to know as well for you guys who you would answer. So let's go on Facebook here. The first one is Eric, Symbiotically Geeky on YouTube. So just so you know, the order: 1 was favorite movie, and 2 was favorite performance. So number 1 was 7 as his favorite movie that he was in. So let's talk about 7. So you said you didn't remember it very well.
I remember it's all about the 7 deadly sins. I remember Gluttony was a guy who was dead, and he force-fed him spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
And then bits of the floor is a clue that there was something behind the fridge. I mean, I remember bits of it. I just don't remember the end. I remember the ending where the head comes in the thing. I just didn't remember that he got shot. He was there, right, like, sort of thing. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, so the basic premise, and spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, but like, come on, it's been 23 years since it came out, so you should have seen 7 by now. If you haven't, dear God, go watch it. It's such a great movie. So 7, basic premise is Morgan Freeman is about to retire as a detective in a really, really shitty neighborhood. I don't think they ever say what neighborhood it is, just kind of unnamed shitty neighborhood. And a young Brad Pitt is the person who's about to replace him. And Brad Pitt's very first case is this, they find this giant guy who was force-fed, like you said, spaghetti. And it was just like completely disgusting. And Morgan Freeman, who's like on his way out, he's kind of starting to clean off his office kind of stuff, goes to the scene, and he finds behind the fridge it says Gluttony because of clues that were in the house. So he started researching it, and he realized that this case might be a little bit more than what Brad Pitt can handle as his first case in this new place. So he decides to stay on a couple extra weeks, and as they go through this mystery, other people start popping up dead with another deadly sin. Of course, there are 7 of them. They figure it out together. It's really funny because Morgan Freeman tells Brad Pitt's character, can you research like these really obscure, tough to read like authors from the olden times, like Plato and all that kind of stuff. So Brad Pitt tells another officer to get him Cliff Notes. So he gives him like the Cliff Notes of those things, so he can kind of suck up to Morgan Freeman's character. It's a great story. It's the way they interact, these two, how Brad Pitt wants to kind of show off that he's a capable detective, and Morgan Freeman that wants to pass along the buck. All the while, probably one of the greatest, I think, murder mysteries in film history, if in my opinion. And like I said, spoiler, it turns out that Kevin Spacey is the killer. He actually gives himself in to complete his masterpiece, and it's so well shot. It's very and the mood is very kind of dark and dank, and it's just great movie. And Kevin Spacey, he's not in for very long because he only comes in kind of at the end, but he steals every single scene he's in. I mean, there's a scene where all he's doing, he's behind glass, like an interview glass, and he's just dipping his tea like really slowly, and he's like, just that scene, he's not doing anything, he's just dipping his tea. He looks so crazy and so kind of out there yet composed. It's just brilliant. So Kevin Spacey, great film. So I really, really recommend it. And the second one, best performance from Symbiotically Geeky was Usual Suspects. Another great film that Kevin Spacey was in. Another amazing twist involving Kevin Spacey at the end. Did you see this one?
Yeah, this was my pick, actually. This would have been mine. Because when I thought of Kevin Spacey, Usual Suspects was the first one that came into my head. Kaiser Sose. Kaiser Sose.
Exactly.
Kaiser Sose.
Right.
But yeah. I remember it's 5 criminals that get arrested. They all have links to this Kaiser Sose that they're trying to figure out who it is. And then you got the twist at the end of it. Again, I don't remember much. I'm going to have to watch a lot of these films again. Because when you said Kevin Spacey, like I said to you, I was like, I don't really know much about him. I know he's been in films. I know which films he's been in, but remembering the films, because some of the good ones are like good 20 years old. Yeah. But yeah, it was really cool. Because he played, did he play a cripple in it?
Well, he's faking it. But yeah, he does.
Yeah, he was faking it. So I remember they did, was it Scary Movie? There was like a Doofy. Doofy was
right.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of it. Sort of thing.
Right. No, exactly. So yeah, great performance. Definitely, one of his best performances ever, and great film. Another one that you really absolutely must see, and one I'm sure we're going to see a lot in this list. So
yeah.
Moving on, we have Johnny Tez, big YouTuber under the channel the Hyper Geek, Johnny Tez. He says the best movie is Seven, with Big Kahuna a close second, and his best performance was the Big Kahuna, with Seven as a close second. So Seven and the Big Kahuna, his 2 films that he picked there. Have you seen Big Kahuna? Since we already talked about Seven.
No. Big Kahuna. I only remember a burger, the Big Kahuna burger, but I don't know if that's to do with this film.
For the Tarantino films.
Yeah. That's the only thing I remember about it. But no, I don't think I've ever seen it.
And sadly, I haven't either. So I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Check it out. Yeah.
If Johnny, puts it up there with Seven, and I do trust Johnny as somebody who watches like good movies.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to watch it as well. Thanks, Johnny.
yeah, thanks, Johnny. He also said L.A. Confidential as the runner-up for both of them, and that's another great movie. I really like another kind of crime story. I just loved L.A. Confidential. Did you see that one?
No.
Oh, there you go. So another one to put on your list there. It's, definitely another great film. Daryl Spears, he says 7 for both. So there you go.
Yeah.
7. Todd from Todd All Things Horror, another great YouTuber. He says American Beauty for best film and 7 for best performance. American Beauty is one of my favorite films of all time as well, along with 7. It came out the year before I went to film school, and it had that like really kind of mix of a regular film but also an artsy film, and it was just so good. I just really liked the visuals. I loved the dialogue. I loved the acting by everybody in that film. American Beauty is such an amazing film. Have you seen this? Nope.
I remember it being an artsy film. I remember there's a girl with roses all over her or something.
Yeah.
Is that from the movie poster or something like that?
Yeah. So the basic premise is Kevin Spacey is it's like a Kevin Spacey's midlife crisis essentially. So he's married. He's got a daughter. He's got a shitty job, in a like cubicle in an office, and he's just tired of his life. Like his life is just going nowhere, and he's miserable, and his wife is not having sex with him anymore, and it just like the beginning scene is him in a shower jerking off, and he says that's the highlight of my day. His just really he's really pathetic, and it's just sad. His neighbors are successful, and they kind of make fun of him. And he's got a new like military neighbor that kind of looks down on him, and it's him slowly trying to take his life back. He starts like, instead of jacking off in the shower, he starts jacking off in bed, and his wife's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I'm jacking off because you're not doing it for me." And then he quits his job in a way that's similar to Fight Club, where he kind of beats himself up and made it look like the boss. And he gets a job at some shitty burger joint because why not? And he just starts doing his own thing. He buys himself a convertible because That's what he always wanted to do. And he starts working out, and then he starts having the hots for his daughter's like best friend. It's a really simple story, but there are so many little stories going on at the same time. Like his wife is also kind of going through her thing, and she's fucking her competition because they're both like, like housing market people, and his daughter is going through some stuff, and she's attracted to the weird neighbor kid, and it's just there's so many little stories that connect to it, and it's so good. So definitely worth watching.
Okay, I'll have to put that on my list as well.
So thank you, Todd. Then we have Michael Blake. He said the best movie was American Beauty and K-Pax, and the best performances was LA Confidential and Usual Suspects. Have you seen K-Pax?
Yes.
Good.
Is it? I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's been a while, but he's in a mental hospital, and he said he's an alien.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. And he keeps, but you never find out whether he is or isn't at the end of the film.
And it's one of those brilliant things where, just like Total Recall, where the ending could be seen in two different ways. Because basically, again, spoiler alert, it's a movie that came out like I think it's 18 years ago. Yeah. He's an alien. He's a like mental institution, and he kind of has all these miracles that happen while he's there. Like he can predict kind of birds coming to the to the tree, and he knows super complex mathematical equations. And every time he's tested with the stuff that he says to the psychologist, he can back it up. For example, he tells him where he's from, and he has all these like really convenient ways of saying like, I traveled here through time and all this stuff, and everyone kind of looks at him like he's crazy, but he has like legit science facts to prove it. Yeah. And the psychologist's brother-in-law works for like NASA, so he invites him over to say where his planet is. And he takes like a really far away universe or like galaxy, and it's really like not really. It's kind of really vague what it looks like, and he draws over it like exactly what his galaxy looks like. And they're like, "How do you know this?" Because it's like not even the NASA scientists know the calculations to this stuff. He's like, "Well, it's simple. It's like you knowing the 9 planets around your solar system." To K-Paxian, which is this planet, it's just common knowledge. So it's very interesting film. And at the end, he's supposed to disappear at a certain time in a certain place, and there's a big bright light, and then he disappears, and everyone's freaking out. But then they find him like under the bed or something. But is it really him, or was he just using this mental patient as a host? And that's what the mystery is, and it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love K-Pax. That's a great performance. So let's see. Moving on. We have all right. So that was Michael Blake. Jason says A Time to Kill. And this is the only time you'll see this on his list, I'm sure. His favorite performance was Superman Returns.
Oh my God.
He hated the movie. Don't count it as a Superman film because it was that bad, but he was awesome as Lex Luthor. So what do you have to? I'm sure you've seen Superman Returns.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So what do you think?
Again, I think it's probably one that he should dust under the carpet.
Yeah.
Not the greatest of Superman films, but he did play an awesome character, an awesome Lex Luthor in that. Much better than the one from Batman vs Superman, by far.
Oh my God! Yeah. My God! Yeah.
So he was kind of the best part of that film. Without a doubt.
I didn't think Brendan Routh did that bad of a job either as Superman. I just think the movie is crap. Like
the writing and
the whole plan of like growing these giant islands of kryptonite and the whole thing. Like, is it really his son? We're not sure. Hello, he just threw a fucking piano across the room. I'm pretty damn sure it's your son.
Yeah. I think that was a pretty good performance by him. Not mine. My choice has still not been chosen yet. Come on, people.
All right. Well, we're still going. So thank you for the. Well, he said also A Time to Kill. Is that?
No, that wasn't. I've not seen that one.
Okay, so another great movie. It's about racism. It's just. I don't want to spoil it too much, but because I've already spoiled a couple films. But basically, it's a very, very good film about racial tensions, and it's a kind of a courtroom drama having to do with racism. So definitely one to watch. Then we have Carly, who says Usual Suspects ×2. So thank you, Carly. Then we have Brian, who says favorite movie. This is a new one, maybe the one you've been waiting for. Life of David Gale.
No.
And performance was Usual Suspects. Have you seen Life of David Gale?
No. Weird thing was, though, when it came out, I actually had a best mate that was called David Gale.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was very strange, but I never got around to seeing the film. But it was just very weird.
Right. Yeah. So basically, it's a movie about capital punishment, and Kevin Spacey is on death row as should there be capital punishment or not? Because what if he's innocent? It's a really great movie again, and maybe it's a Kevin Spacey thing. There's a big twist at the end. He seems to like twist movies, and this one has a good one. So I think it's worth watching if you like. It's very courtroomy. It's very, a lot of twists and turns throughout the story, and then a big twist at the end. So very, very good. A performance by Kevin Spacey. Sorry. Moving on, we have. So that was Brian. Marianne, who is half of my following in Denmark. So huge shout out to Marianne. She says favorite movie, Life of David Gale, favorite performance, American Beauty, and she really loves him photobombing people, which is something he's known for. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
Yeah, so basically, if he's out anywhere in public and he sees someone taking a picture, he'll almost certainly try to photobomb it. It's
wow,
one of
that's awesome.
Him. I know him. He does it. What's the other one that does it? My God, Tom. Oh my God, the guy from Forrest Gump. Jesus Christ. Tom Hanks does it a lot, and Bill Murray does it a lot. So those are three celebrities who really like to do stuff like that, just kind of photobomb people. So shout out to awesome celebrities.
Yeah.
And the final one on the list is Joseph Canales, who also has a YouTube channel. I think it's just Joseph Canales did the channel as well. He says United States of Leland and 7 as the performance. So those are the answers that we have. I haven't seen United States, or what was it? What did he call it? United States of Leland. I haven't seen that movie, so
no,
I really can't say anything. And in the chat, Pedro Afonso says 7 for both. But he said Glenn Ross is another one of his favorite movies. So what about you, British Geeky Guy? What was Kevin Spacey's best movie, and what was his best performance, if it hasn't been mentioned yet? That's you.
Well, the first one that jumped to my mind, obviously, was... it's gone from my mind now. The Usual Suspects was the one that jumped when you said Kevin Spacey. Usual Suspects. The other two that I really liked him in, though, was Outbreak.
Okay, yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, he played Casey, the second medical examiner who gets infected. Right. And See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Oh wow, that's old. You're going old school there.
Yeah, it's a really, really good film. He plays the
great film. Yeah, I didn't remember him in that until I saw it when I was doing the research for the episode.
Yeah.
That was a great film.
Yeah. He plays the kind of Brit with the convertible, which I thought was quite cool.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So that would be your favorite performance?
Yeah, the performance for that one. And then my favorite film would be The Usual Suspects.
Oh, very, very good. And as for me, if there's one thing, like, I'm working on my top 100 movies of all time for a series of videos, and I keep changing my mind all over the place. I'm having the worst time doing it. But if there's one thing that I've had set in my mind for the last 2 decades, is my top 3. And they have not moved in 2 decades. So at this point, they'll probably never move just because I'm like so set on those 3. Number 1 is The Shawshank Redemption, and number 3 is Fight Club. So those 2 movies will never move. Number 2 is a Kevin Spacey movie, so I have to make it as my favorite Kevin Spacey movie, and that's 7. 7 is my second favorite movie of all time. It's dark. I love David Fincher. I mean, he's twice in those, Both that and Fight Club are both David Fincher films. Just Morgan Freeman kills it. Brad Pitt kills it. Again, Brad Pitt appears twice there. Morgan Freeman appears twice there. There's like a little theme to my top three. It's just such a great movie. I absolutely adore it. Even though it's gross as hell, because the way he kills his victims is really, really sadistic, I could still watch this movie over and over. It's just such a great atmospheric, good story. The pacing is good. Just as it's about to, just as like the leads start going down, something happens, another victim, and it's really clever. It's just a great film. So as far as performance, I'm going to go with K-Pax. He plays that character so well that you really don't know if he was telling the truth or he was faking it. I was actually watching another channel just before coming on here that I really, really like called Matthew Movies. It's a guy who reviews movies, essentially, and he and I agree on a lot of movies. And I was just commenting about Total Recall, where it had the similar type of ending where you don't really know how it ended. It could really go either way. Either it was a dream or it wasn't. K-Pax is the same way, and I think unlike Total Recall, which was just built so beautifully that you don't know which of the two is the real reality, this one was really, really based off this character and his performance of this character, and it was just brilliant, just awesome performance. But Usual Suspects was a close second because I actually watched it before, spoilers was a thing. So I didn't know when I watched it the first time, and it just blew me away. So
yeah, same.
Yeah, it's
didn't guess at all.
No, exactly.
I love twists like that.
Me too, and that was really that was early internet, so not everything was spoiled back then, unless someone actually physically told you. So yeah, it was an awesome time. So yeah. So those are the two that I picked, Seven and K-Pax for mine. But everybody had great answers. It just proves that Kevin Spacey has a lot of great films. I mean, the thing that I see a lot in these is the same films usually come over and over. Usually an actor is going to have really one or two films that kind of defined their career, but Kevin Spacey has many, and he's still going. House of Cards is such a great example of Kevin Spacey staying relevant and just doing a great job. So that's it for the month of February. In March, I am doing one that's special, one that I probably shouldn't do yet because he's so early into his career, but I'm just going to revisit it in another episode like 5 years from now if I have to, because there are still, even though it's early in his career, there are so many things to pick from. And since we're getting close to WrestleMania and we're getting close to our 100th episode, I want March to be about one of my absolute favorite actors. One of the only actors that I will legitimately see anything he does. If he's in it, I will automatically see it. I don't care what it is. And trust me, I've seen some crap that there's no way I would have watched unless he was in it. And that's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I've been a fan of The Rock since his WWE days. I'm not going to say I liked him from the very beginning because his Rocky Maivia curly hair jungle costume thing wasn't really working for me early on. But as soon as he took on the Rock gimmick with the Nation of Domination and his whole career as a pro wrestler, and then as the Scorpion King in The Mummy 2, and moving on to all his brilliant roles from there and some really crappy roles. Tooth Fairy, just what a piece of crap. Any movie that you make that the sequel is Larry the Cable Guy replacing you is probably not a good movie. So that's a rule of thumb. So next month, it's going to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being entered to our Hall of Fame as an actor, not into our Wrestling Hall of Fame, unless you want to enter him there too, which is a whole other thing. So the question of the week when that episode comes is, what is The Rock's best movie currently, and what is his best performance? And that's going to be tough because he's been in a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that I like. So It's going to be interesting to see everyone's answers on that, and it'll be a great way to cap off March, which has both our third annual WrestleMania Hall of Fame episode, which is my favorite episode to record all year, and our 100th episode, which I'm going to announce the details of very, very soon. I'm going to do something special for the 100th episode, so it'll be very interesting.
Cool.
So that's it. Next week, I hope to have the British Geeky Guy on again, because we are doing a British invasion episode where we talk about British culture relating to movies and television, stuff like that. It coincides with a current contest that I'm doing right now. Go check it out on my channel. It's called the February contest, because I'm giving away something every single month this year. It's going to be a box full of British-inspired items. So that's what I'm giving away. It's really easy to enter.
Packet of crumpets, a teapot.
That's right. A picture of the Queen.
And some stamps.
Right, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so that's going to be what's in the box. I'm just going to make a box full of kind of British stuff. And it's easy to enter. All you do is comment on the video, or if you really want the box, make a video yourself and answer the question that I put into my giveaway video that you can watch on my channel. So, and in March, I have a really, really cool item, or a bunch of related cool items that kind of make one thing. I'm very excited about it. I don't know if I'm the only one that's excited about it. I'm starting to think like maybe it's just like my own niche, and I would be really excited about it, but I don't know if it'll be for everyone. But that's the thing about it. Every month is it's going to hit different demographics, I hope. First month I had jewelry. Now we had British stuff. Next month we got that thing that I'm teasing. And I got other stuff. I mean, I showed off in a video recently that this is going to be given away soon, which is a signed ghost face mask from Scream. Just stuff like that I have that I'm ready to give away. So that's it. So for the question of the week, just check out our Facebook page, Facebook.com/FlippingTheNerd, or you can also check us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course, Twitch. Maybe I'll start doing that soon again. What about you, British Geeky Guy? Where can they find you and your videos?
Just British Geeky Guy on YouTube. I have a Facebook page as well. You can check me out on there. I think I'm on Instagram, because someone Instagrammed me today for the first time ever. So I'm on Instagram apparently, and it's the other one that everyone uses.
Snapchat.
Twitter.
Twitter.
Twitter. That's it. Twitter. What the hell am I on about?
Right.
And I've got a video coming up, a tag video, which I might tag you in actually.
Awesome.
Have you been tagged for that the 3-question one?
No, I've been tagged for anything lately, and I've been lacking content, so that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I might tag you for that then.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. And you have anything else coming up, or
Comic-Con next month?
Oh, Comic-Con
next month. Oh, and as a pop aficionado with 500 or so pops, I say that your ghost from Ghostbusters class as a horror, and your Swamp Thing class as a horror.
Yeah. For those wondering what he's talking about, I actually have them here. So yeah, I wasn't sure if these counted as horror pops, because I'm trying to collect a bunch of horror pops. Ghostbusters, I thought it looked horror, even though the movie is not horror at all.
It looks really good. Really good.
It does, and that's why I bought it. Because
it's the only one I have from that set. Oh no, I got the glow in the dark one. I got the glow in the dark ghost.
Okay, cool. And I wouldn't mind Rowan's ghost too. Like
the Rowan's ghost. That's the one I got glow in the dark.
The other ones I don't care about. And for this one, so I thought, to be honest, I was in a garage sale, so I was really kind of picking up fast. And I thought this was Swamp, like the Creature of the Black Lagoon, or like from a horror movie.
Yeah.
And then when I get home, I noticed that it's DC Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
With Batman, I'm like, why is Batman on the back of this? And then I'm like, oh, oops. Anyway, I thought he looked horrorish.
That was their first scented one.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That's not the scented one, but there is one that came out, and the first scented one they brought out was that one, which I've got over there. It smells bloody horrible.
I'm glad I don't have it then. Yeah, so that's it. So thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And thank you, all of you, of course, for watching. I really can't say how much I appreciate you watching, especially this episode. Like, this show I really do for fun. To be honest, I don't do this for views. Not that I really do anything for views, but This one in particular I do for fun. I never expected to do very well because it's so long. But for those who actually stick through the whole thing, I super, super appreciate it. And if you'd like to be on, just let me know. You know, I'm always looking to have people. And in fact, starting next month, as I hit the 100 mark for this episode, as I do every month for an appreciation for an actor, I'd like to do one interview episode every month with a different YouTuber and just kind of pick their brain about YouTube, what they're in, talk about different geeky stuff, because there are great YouTubers out there. And, you know, British Geeky Guy, maybe you could be my first guest. I'd really love to pick your brain about Pops. And so let's do it. Let's just announce it. British Geeky Guy will be the very first interview that I'll do. I'd love to talk to you about Pops and the stuff you collect, Fallout, and all that stuff. So
that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd be honored to do that.
Yeah, so let's do that. So announce right now. We're live on the air. British Geeky Guy will be the very first interviewee, and I'll do that every single month going forward, just so you can see other awesome YouTubers. Man, there's so many out there.
There is some really good ones. Definitely. Yeah, Stephen Higgins and
I definitely
love Stephen Higgins' channel.
Yeah, it's a great channel. So Stephen Higgins is a great example. Anyway, so I'll talk about that as we get there, but that's something else to look forward to because I'm kind of running out of subjects too. That's a whole other thing. I'm like looking at after 100 episodes, I've kind of done every subject in geek culture. Kind of running out a little bit. So having an interview and an appreciation video every month will help me out a little bit. So that's it. I'm gonna go play Gears of War now. So
comics.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, BGG, for coming on. I'll see you all on the flip side. Goodbye.